Right now at noon, former President Jimmy Carter's remains heading to the Capitol ahead of the state funeral. How Americans are giving their final goodbyes. Plus, the Dane County community showing its support through Culver's for Abundant Life Christian School after last month's deadly shooting. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. Former President Jimmy Carter makes his last journey to Washington today. His body will be brought to the Capitol Rotunda, where he will lie in state until Thursday's funeral. Natalie Brand reports.
Church hymns played as former President Jimmy Carter's casket was carried out of the Carter Center in Atlanta for the last time. Carter's children and their spouses accompanied the late former president in a solemn ceremony ahead of the journey to Washington, D.C. for the next phase of his state funeral. A military honor guard stood watch while the last mourners passed through the Carter Center to pay their respects. A steady stream of some 23,000 people came to say goodbye to a man they greatly admired.
It was just very hard because Jimmy was such a good person, a good-hearted person. It's just hard.
One mourner made her own tribute to the former president.
This is a world of thanks to President Jimmy Carter, humanitarian, justice seeker, farmer, father, grandfather.
Carter is being remembered for all of those roles, and once in D.C., most especially as the 39th U.S. president. The Capitol Rotunda will welcome the public starting this evening, and long lines to see Carter lie in state are expected.
I feel like this is an opportunity for change while he's resting right now.
Many more will have the opportunity for that reflection as the country spends the next few days honoring his legacy. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Lawyers for President-elect Donald Trump are threatening legal action if special counsel Jack Smith releases his final report related to the federal investigations into Trump. That information was in a letter written by the lawyers and included in court filings from Trump's former co-defendants, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira. Trump's defense lawyers say they were given limited access review of the draft. They say the report was a, quote, one-sided narrative. Attorney General Merrick Garland says he plans to provide lawyers or lawmakers with a redacted report. The House of Representatives is set to take up the Lake and Riley Act today. It will be the first bill to get a vote by the new Congress. The legislation is named after a Georgia student who was killed by an undocumented immigrant previously arrested for theft. It would require undocumented migrants who commit certain nonviolent crimes like theft or burglary to be detained. The bill passed the previous House chamber with bipartisan support. The Senate will likely take up the bill for the first time on Friday. The search for a man accused of killing 3 people in New Lisbon continues this afternoon. New Lisbon police say Virgil Thu was last seen on January 1st near Orange Road and McEwen Road in New Lisbon. The last known vehicle used by Thu has been recovered by law enforcement. The New Lisbon police chief says the FBI is now also helping them with the search. Thu is considered armed and dangerous. If you do see him, do not confront him and call 911. A GoFundMe has been created for the family of the 13-year-old victim, Skyla. Funds will go towards the funeral arrangements and flowers. You can find a link to this on our website, channel3000.com. Well, chilly temperatures again for today. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano is out on the weather patio with your certified most accurate forecast. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, not much has changed compared to the noon show yesterday. We're still seeing cold temperatures with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Right now, the current temperature is 21 degrees. That's just about what the temperature was at this time yesterday. It's a little bit less windy, so the wind chills are only in the teens. We did have a few wind chills in the single digits throughout the afternoon, so maybe a little bit better today, but otherwise it is pretty much the exact same. Lower 20s for current temperatures, a few locations in the teens. And as we look at the current radar, we are completely dry. And if we zoom further out, most of the Midwest is dry, but we are seeing a few light snow showers in Iowa, as well as some lake effect snow on the south and eastern sides of the Great Lakes. This includes the Northeast as well. We're going to continue to see cloud cover for much of the day, but then we are going to see the clouds clear up during the evening. Kind of like what we saw yesterday. The clouds will clear up a little bit later tonight, though. But then as we get towards Wednesday morning, we're going to see the clouds move back into the area. So overall, we're just going to continue to have a rinse and repeat forecast. not just temperatures, but also how we saw the clouds yesterday, because it was cloudy during the day with clear skies in the evening, and then clouds moved back in this morning. So highs throughout the afternoon will be in the 20s, but I will talk about a chance of snow later this week. I'll have those details a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Wisconsinites showing up in droves to support Abundant Life Christian School's Recovery Fund. Culver's locations across Wisconsin donated a percentage of their sales to the fund following the deadly school shooting 3 weeks ago. Cars filled the parking lots throughout the state as people flocked to participating Culvers to help out. The ALCS fund is dedicated to providing immediate and long-term support for those impacted by the deadly shooting at the school.
I was just thinking about how times like these, you really see what community this town has to offer, this whole city, and I think everyone in line probably has been thinking about that tonight as well. So I think we're all happy to wait.
If you could not make it out last night but still want to donate, you can do so by texting HELP for ALCS to 40403. It's at the bottom of your screen. Again, HELP for ALCS to 40403. Wisconsin Department of Transportation officials are reminding drivers that only emergency and maintenance vehicles can use median crossovers on highways. This advisory comes after this truck driver learned the lesson the hard way. The DOT says the truck driver had been traveling on Highway 14 in Madison when the driver realized they would not clear an upcoming railroad bridge. That's when the driver turned into the crossover and got stuck, shutting down traffic. State law prohibits vehicles other than those with emergencies or for emergencies or maintenance from using crossovers. You can be fined up to $100 for doing so. Officials say drivers should instead continue to the next exit and turn around legally. Right now, Meta is making major changes to its content moderation. Founder Mark Zuckerberg says Facebook and Instagram will get rid of fact checkers. They'll be replaced with community notes, which are user-generated. These adjustments come on the heels of President-elect Donald Trump's criticism of the platforms for what he says was the censoring of conservative-leaning opinions. Zuckerberg says these changes could result in more harmful material being displayed on accounts. Still ahead for us on a Tuesday afternoon, Disney's Hulu Plus live TV service is merging with another streaming provider. Plus, when Chick-fil-A is bringing back two zesty fan favorites.
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel have filed a lawsuit challenging President Joe Biden's decision to block their proposed $15 billion merger. The two companies accuse the president of making the decision based on politics. The Biden administration said it made the decision due to American national security reasons. The companies have also filed a separate lawsuit against the CEO of U.S. competitor Cleveland-Cliffs and the president of the U.S. Steelworkers Union. Disney's Hulu Plus live TV service is merging with another streaming provider, Fubo. The companies say Disney will have a 70% ownership stake, though the services will continue to run under both brand names. The deal does not include Hulu's subscription video service. The two companies combined have more than 6 million subscribers. The move also allows Fubo to drop a pending lawsuit against a new joint sports streaming venture involving multiple major media providers. And Chick-fil-A is bringing back two zesty fan favorites starting today for a limited time. The grilled spicy deluxe sandwich served with cilantro lime sauce and key lime flavored drinks. The chicken chain says the two items complement each other in order to help diners, quote, beat the winter blues. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Here's a look at the stocks at this hour. The Dow's down 58 points, NASDAQ down 273, and the S&P 500 also down at this hour 53. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. We have today's egg numbers straight ahead, along with the first warn forecast, and later on live at 4. Dr. Jeff Potoff on the best diet for disease prevention and the simple task that can help combat depression.
Oh, Steve, if I need him.
There she is. Farm Babe, can you hear me?
Hey, dude, you sound like you got a snuffy nose.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been battling this for like 6 weeks. It just kind of comes and goes constantly.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yeah, we're just trying this out in case, as I spend more time up here, just so we can connect.
Yeah, well, it looks good, and we missed you, so I'm glad we could make this happen.
Yeah, we'll go to my pictures from the premiere of Green and Gold at Lambeau Field.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, we'll talk to you here in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Welcome back at noon. It's a big day because we have Farm Babe Pam Yankee back with us. She's live with your Midwest Farm Report up north this afternoon. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, that's right. Still on a little bit of a holiday break, but since I'll be spending more time up here in the Green Bay area, I thought we might as well try this remote equipment out and let you know what it looks like. So part of the reason why I'm up here, obviously, aside from family and holidays, was last Friday, you might have heard about a big red carpet premiere at Lambeau Field for a movie that's called Green and Gold. It's a story about a dairy farmer that basically bets on the Packers to save the farm. And they had a beautiful red carpet event at Lambeau Field. Craig Culvers is some of the financial backing of the Green and Gold movie, which will premiere beginning January 31st. Mark Murphy was also there talking a little bit about the Packers' involvement in the production of the film. A lot of archival footage that they were using to document back to our Super Bowl win with Brett Favre at the helm over the New England Patriots. And then Craig T. Nelson, who also sang the anthem at Sunday's game against the Bears, was the featured guest of the evening. He is the farmer Buck that is portraying that dairy farmer story. And all of it was basically shot in Door County around the Sisters Bay area. Now, for the farm show, I got a chance to visit with some of the farms in the area that supplied cattle and tried to make sure that there were local flavors, if you will, as far as Wisconsin is concerned. I also talked to the two brothers, Anders and Davin, that were the producer-directors. They come from a farming background themselves, and they decided that Wisconsin was the only place to film Green and Gold. They got offers financially from other studios, but when they wanted to change locations to a state that had financial incentives for cinema work, they stopped it right there. Green and Gold, the movie about a dairy farmer and the Green Bay Packers, starts on January 31st. Just thought I'd share a few of those little snapshots with you so that you could have an opportunity to think about getting tickets in advance. And again, thanks to Culvers for some of the financial backing. A lot of volunteers, Josh, from Door County that made their way to Lambeau Field on Friday night. It was like a church, church potluck. Everybody was there, including David and Anders' family that came down from Upper Peninsula, Michigan. But it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing, we only got to see 24 minutes of the movie. I'm looking forward to the whole thing starting January 31st. Should be fun.
Well, and that Wisconsin connection, too, and just all of the people, I mean, that's quite cool and very special for us to be proud of, Pam.
That's right. Get your tickets today. Hopefully it is a big success.
All right. Well, it's good to have you live with us. We missed you, and we'll talk to you next time, Pam. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, Josh.
Well, the cool and dry conditions continue for now. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano has your forecast. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, the three things you need to know are literally the exact same from yesterday. We're going to be dry through Thursday with cold temperatures going forward. And then we have that chance of snow for Friday and then again on Sunday. Now, as we take a look at the amount of snow we've seen this winter, now this is just through or from December 1st. Now, we did have some snow in November, but from December 1st, which is meteorological winter, we've had just under 7 inches. We average around 14.5 inches. And last year, this was the week, or at least this upcoming week, was when we had those two big snowstorms that really put us above average, and that continued for pretty much the rest of winter, but that certainly is not in the forecast for the upcoming week. Now, looking at the snow depth, you can see where that system tracked across the United States. Plenty of snow to the south of us, but we are in a snow hole. From Madison to Minneapolis, also out west of Sioux Falls, no snow on the ground. And although we do have some chances of snow, we're not expecting a massive amount of accumulation. But starting Thursday evening, you can see some of that snow moving into our area coming from the northwest, and it will move in kind of overnight Thursday into early Friday, clearing out by Friday evening. But it looks like the heaviest will stay to the south of us. Likely going to see only about an inch at most. This is not expecting to be a big system, and then we'll be dry by the time we get to Saturday. Looking specifically, though, at those snow chances, again, certainly dry until we get to that Thursday night time frame, and then we could see that continue into Friday morning. And then we have another chance of snow for the day on Sunday, but it looks pretty similar to Friday's snowfall. Not expecting to see a massive amount of accumulation, but things could change between now and then. We'll continue to update the forecast accordingly, but for right now, just some light snow is in the forecast. Now, as far as temperatures, they're not going to change all that much. Looking at this afternoon, highs will be in the middle 20s with mostly cloudy skies. We will see some sunshine later in the day for some areas, and then we'll see clear skies during the evening with, once again, clouds increasing later in the night. But it looks like the clouds will increase a little bit after sunrise, so we may see clear skies right at right when the sun starts to rise, with low temperatures in the single digits. And then for tomorrow, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures will be in the teens to lower 20s, so a few degrees colder, but it's not expected to be windy, so the wind chills aren't going to be too far below what we saw today. Probably going to drop into the single digits, but not further beyond that. So looking at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, check out these temperatures. I mean, they're going to stay very consistent. We will see a little bit of a rise and dip in them, but for the most part, they're going to stay between around 15 to 30 degrees highs, and the lows will stay in the single digits to teens. Now, although it's definitely going to be cold the next 10 days, the good news is that we're not seeing any days that are, brutally cold. Wind chills may get to below zero at times during the morning hours, but they're not going to drop too far below zero. Also considering the fact that we're not really expecting to see any days very windy, and that typically happens when the temperatures don't change all that much. If we had days in the 40s and then dropping into the teens, those days in the teens may be colder because the winds would be stronger, but in this case, we're not going to be seeing that, and just those 2 chances of snow for Friday and Sunday. So, I didn't even have to really change the forecast all that much. The 3 things you need to know are literally the exact same from yesterday, so that just goes to show you that pretty quiet going forward.
Stay the course.
Yep.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Well, today Howard has a new chicken recipe for you in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I think it's common for many of us to get stumped when it comes to finding new ways to cook chicken. So to change things up a bit, we're making a super easy and cheddar cheesy chicken that I think you're gonna love. In fact, it's so good, I'm betting it'll become one of your new weeknight favorites. What do you say we get started? We begin by making a cracker crumb coating by combining crushed cheese crackers with sesame seeds, fresh chopped parsley, and a little salt and pepper. The cheese crackers are our secret ingredient, which gives this dish its big cheddar taste. Now, after trimming some chicken breasts, we dip them in melted butter and then into the cheesy crumb mixture. These go onto a baking sheet and into the oven until the chicken is cooked through and the coating is nice and crisp. This may sound basic, but the taste is out of this world. And don't plan on having any leftovers, because when you serve this crunchy, cheesy chicken as is, or with some honey mustard dressing for dipping, they're gonna gobble them up. To get the recipe for our cheesy baked chicken, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a secret cheesy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Next at noon, Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin with some cheesy inspiration for the new year. Especially right now, the new year.
Yeah, so basically, and then the Havarti is made at Decatur Dairy in Broadhead, which has a great story. They have two master cheesemakers. It's local. So
love that.
Yeah. It's just a hop, skip,
Welcome back. Angie Edge from Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin joins us with some cheesy inspiration. Happy New Year, Angie.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you. New year, new cheeses, new recipes.
New recipes, yes.
So we're very excited today. We have a marinated Havarti with roasted vegetables. Of
this
course,
looks good.
You know, the new year, everyone wants to get all that fiber and protein and vegetables. And the Havarti cheese is a really special one. It's made at Decatur Dairy in Broadhead.
Popular one.
Yes, they've been making cheese since 1940. They have 2 Wisconsin master cheesemakers, and they've won a lot of awards. So that is the base of our recipe. So we've actually marinated the Havarti ahead of time. So we have 8 ounces of the Havarti cheese here. And then we're gonna add in olive oil, we have balsamic vinegar, and then fresh herbs like thyme and rosemary. You can kind of smell that, right?
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, you're gonna roast the vegetables. So we have tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, and mushrooms that you're gonna roast in the oven with the same marinade for about 20 minutes. And then you're gonna mix it all together. And so you have this roasted, beautiful vegetables and Havarti cheese. You can serve it on a crostini, or you can just serve it as little appetizer picks
That's
as
so
well.
cool.
So,
I love that you can kind of pull your creative energy out of that too.
Yeah, lots of great color, but Havarti is a great Wisconsin cheese, and they're so creative too. They're always coming up with new flavors and new varieties. So over here we have a horseradish Havarti, a caraway seed, dill Havarti, and who knows what's next, right?
Something for everyone.
Yes.
And I like, you know, obviously we're focusing on, you know, the new year, that healthy mindset, but still getting the protein, still getting all the goodness into it, and what
really,
we like here in Wisconsin.
It could be a meal within itself because,
yes,
you know, all the great vegetables and the protein. And if you visit wisconsincheese.com, you can find this recipe along with a lot of great inspiration for the new year. And you can learn more about our Wisconsin master cheesemakers as well.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Always looking for that proudly Wisconsin cheese label
well.
too. I know, you got me trained. All right, Angie, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Let's go to Jacob now for a final check of your forecast.
Yeah, like I mentioned a moment ago, we're not going to see a lot of change. Temperatures will continuously be cold. We do have a few chances of snow, one on Friday and then again on Sunday. But in both cases, we are not expecting a lot of accumulation those days. So for the most part, we're likely going to continue to see little to no snow on the ground. But we could see maybe about a dusting to a half inch, maybe some isolated amounts up to a full inch. We'll continue updating that forecast accordingly, though, but right now it looks pretty light. And then throughout next week, not much is going to change. We're going to continuously see highs in the 20s.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great afternoon.